Hey guys, me here again. Hopefully I'll be able to talk. My voice is actually really killing me. But I got some news I'd like to report on that I'm actually kind of not really understanding here. Apparently Austin next week is confirmed to be on Raw. And needless to say, I'm kind of surprised. And what was it, March 2010, when Austin was a special guest GM or whatever the hell they want to call it, Austin, well, he went out, drank beer, flipped people off, oh hell yeah, all that stuff. And after that, Vince had pulled him aside and talked to him backstage and said, well, Steve, that's not what we're about anymore. We don't do that stuff here anymore. And Steve felt insulted that basically everything that he did that made the Attitude Era in the WWF meant absolutely nothing anymore. And, it's almost like when Vince said to Kurt Angle that, your gold medals mean nothing. You're an amateur wrestler. Without me, you'd be nowhere. You'd be a nobody. And Steve was really pissed off, and he had said that he will not return to WWE programming. Now, what I had assumed was that means he wouldn't come on WWE at all. And then I heard he was doing, what do they call it, Tough Enough, right? So, okay, it didn't really surprise me too much. But now that he's being on Raw, it's raising up a few questions in my mind. Okay, Raw next week is apparently in Texas. Okay, Austin's from Texas. Okay, maybe he's just there to promote Tough Enough. Or is he going to have his face-to-face off with The Rock? I don't think The Rock's going to be there next week. I don't really know, but is he going to have his face-to-face off with The Rock like I was thinking they were going to do at WrestleMania? Why is Steve back? Is WWE PG going away? A lot of people are suspecting it will. I can see it starting to go away. Maybe Steve is like The Rock, where he's got a condition where, everything's got to be PG, but Steve, he can cross the line a little bit and not get in trouble. It's PG, they don't have to do. They're doing it because they want to. A lot of people have been thinking since the beginning that this was just some mastermind ploy to get a whole bunch of fans and join WWE. And what's really interesting to me is 35% of WWE's fan base, 35 to 40% to WWE's fan base is under, under the age of 15, I think it is. Which really, it's not that massive. I don't find that a need to switch to PG. So why are they doing it? It's a little interesting. I'm a little perplexed about it. I think, it's no secret. It's no secret anymore that WWE is in trouble. They're in big trouble. Went from $600 million to $336 down to what, $314, $315 something million. They're not pulling in the money. The morale in WWE has been down since 2007, 2008. So it's really interesting. Shawn Michaels walked away because WWE, he didn't like it anymore. And people aren't going to believe that. But, Mr. Kevin Nash there, now he's a big WWE mark all over again. Kevin had said that Shawn and Triple H and himself and Scott, they had made a pact with each other that they were going to retire when wrestling was no longer fun. When they couldn't walk down that ramp and be happy about walking down that ramp and getting into the ring and enjoying what they're doing, they were going to retire. And Shawn is retired. Edge is going to retire in another year or two, in 2 years. I didn't see that coming. I thought Edge would be. I thought he was having a ball in WWE, to be honest with you. The whole reason why he was pushed as a main eventer, got the title 50,000 times, is because there was nobody left. Sure, he won the title the first time. Kurt Angle was still in WWE, and so were some other wrestlers. But by the fourth and fifth and sixth time, there was really nobody left in WWE. They didn't have anybody else to push. The only reason why Edge got pushed was because they could market him with the rated R superstar, and because there was nobody left to push. So, it's really interesting to me. And now they got a bunch of young guys. The only reason why the youth movement even exists in WWE is because of TNA. Because TNA started this youth movement a long time ago, And WWE knows it's going to hurt them. Eventually, all their top-name wrestlers are going to retire, and they got to build up on youth. And as I've said before, and as Kevin Nash had said, Kevin Nash got the best mind in the business, it takes 10 years to condition a wrestler. You don't see wrestlers being the best of the best until they're in their 30s. Not when they're in their 20s. When they're in their mid to late 30s is when you start seeing them at their best. And it's true, if you sit back and think about it on record, how old were most of the guys? I mean, The Rock, what was he, 20-something? 20, was he? No, he wasn't 27. Hell no, he was 30-something. I think Brock was 27. That's what it was. Anyway, some number like that. Or Orton was 27. Some stupid thing like that. Anyways, Rock was the youngest guy. But, Steve was in his 30s. Mark Calloway was in his 30s. There were all these wrestlers that were these mainstream guys, but they were in their 30s when they were getting pushed huge. Kevin Nash had said that TNA has a better roster than WWE does. They have the younger guys that are more conditioned for the long haul. WWE is making guys go so fast that turnover rate's going to be ridiculous. You're going to see people like Sheamus and Dolph Ziggler and Jack Swagger. You're going to see all those guys. They're going to be getting out of the WWE within the next 5 years because, A, they're cocky beyond belief because, hey, I'm making the millions now in my 20s. I don't need to do anything else, And they did all that they need to do, or they're just going to get tired of it, or they're going to get this, or their bodies are not going to allow them to take it because they're being thrown in so much. And Kevin Nash has said over the long haul, TNA is going to be beating WWE. Whether it's with the ratings or not, it doesn't really matter. But as it states now, the roster in TNA is better than the roster in WWE. TNA isn't as great as it used to be, but they're still up there. There's better, younger wrestlers. There's more talent in TNA than there is in WWE. People like Rey Mysterio, the only reason why he re-signed a contract when his last one expired is because I think it was he got a 15% pay increase. He was wanting to leave. Big Show's leaving, or unless he's gone, I don't even know. I don't follow WWE that much. I haven't heard anything that he retired. Big Show's leaving. Chris Jericho left. There's a few other guys that are leaving or have left because WWE has legitimately, literally sucked the fun out of wrestling, and they don't have the passion for it anymore, and it's just not fun. And WWE hit that panic button, and they tried to make everything PG because they were losing so much money and could not fill arenas and giving away hundreds and thousands of tickets for free because they couldn't fill venues like WrestleMania. They couldn't fill WrestleMania 26. They couldn't fill WrestleMania 25 or 24. They haven't been able to fill a WrestleMania, I think, since 21 was the last time they filled a WrestleMania without giving away any free tickets. So it's been like 5 years since they last filled an arena, and we have WrestleMania 27 coming up, and are they going to be giving away tickets? They may be. WWE hit that panic button back just before they hit PG, and that's why they came up with this PG thing to change everything. But now, are they making that snap decision to go back to the Attitude Era? I think it's going to be a slow process. You're seeing blood come back. The gloves are no longer banned. Most people didn't even know that wrestlers could not wear gloves in WWE. You're going to go, whoa, sit back a second. Wrestlers are and were wearing gloves. Yes and no. Wrestlers like The Undertaker was allowed to wear gloves. MVP was allowed. There were some wrestlers that had that, okay, they're allowed to wear gloves, but in 2009, WWE had made somewhat of a law where a lot of wrestlers could not wear gloves. Why? Because somebody in FCW got his finger caught in the glove and snapped his finger. Because one guy had a freak accident and broke his finger. I mean, come on, fingers heal. Broke his finger. They banned gloves for most of the wrestlers, especially the rookies in WWE. So Austin coming back is very interesting. I really don't know what to make of it. I don't know what to make of this whole Attitude Era thing, but it certainly is interesting, isn't it?